Yeah, the object, this is a promo. That was a little bit of, I've never tried that before. You know, what I'm doing is I did that to demonstrate the capability of the Browning lever action. You know, and the fact that I can shoot a rifle, I guess, is...
Well, you know, in modern day, with automatic weapons available to us, semi-automatics or whatever, all they have to do is carry one gun and a fistful of magazines and got lots of bullets. Well, the cowboys didn't have magazines and automatics and easy loading and so on. The closest thing would have been a Gatling gun, and you can't carry one of those around easy either. So our answer to the situation as a cowboy is carry a lot of guns. So here we are. I'm wearing a lot of guns. Two shots from the Bond Derringer. First shot here, the red balloon. The second shot, the green balloon. If it all goes right, let's give it a try. It's fast also, isn't it? The Bond Derringer gets right along. Here we are, one more time with the Bond Derringer. You know, right behind me, way the heck out there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a red balloon attached to a steel plate.
Who's faster than a speeding bullet?
Okay, the second bottle to the right, I'll take on. This time I'll flip the gun upside down and try to shoot it upside down. Okay? Well, answer me. I said okay. Let's give it a try. What, you thought I was going to miss? Never learn. Now the third bottle, I'm going to take the gun, put it in my left hand, turn the gun sideways. You know, like they do in the movies? Forget it. If you're actually shooting at any distance, you know, right behind me, way the heck out there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a red balloon attached to a steel plate. Now that would be a heck of a shot with a rifle with the scope, would you say? A 10-inch balloon on a steel plate at 200 yards? That's how far that is. Exactly 200 yards. Well, I'm going to challenge it with an iron-sighted handgun, a Smith & Wesson 44 mag with iron sights at 200 yards offhand using Federal 240. Let's give it a try. How many shots do I get on this one? Now, if they'd have had the Smith 2944 mag at the Alamo originally, the outcome more than likely would have been different. What do you think? 200 yards? Here we are, one more time with the Bond Derringer in 45 caliber. I'm shooting 250 grain bullets at 785 feet per second. This is Greg Bond's Derringer out of Granbury, Texas, and I'm going to show you a shot you've never seen before, ever heard of, and only a fool like me would try it. You say, what's so difficult? What are you doing to do? Well, see that red balloon out there on that steel plate out there? Let's try to hit that popper. We're talking 65 yards. Let's give it a try with an over. So much for doubt, huh?
You want to keep that gun perpendicular with that angle and keep the gun into a forward position. Stock hammer, this requires a certain movement of hand. And I use this draw in a different angle, a different manner, but I'm going to show you the two basic methods that are used. Now this gun I'm using is a Colt single action 45 caliber, And this gun has a stock hammer on it. Now the gun cannot be fired by pulling the trigger. It must be cocked first and then fired. Now because of this stock hammer, it's not modified in any way. So to hit this particular hammer in a draw position, I have to rotate the thumb from the front of the gun so I can get that hammer back like so. Now understand that when you start shooting fast draw live ammunition, this becomes very critical, extremely dangerous, because once the hammer is cocked, and cocking it in the holster is mandatory for speed in reality, the only thing that is now holding that hammer is the trigger itself. If the trigger breaks, down it goes.
What do you think? There's my target right on the edge. You don't think it can be done with a Derringer? You don't think it can be done at all? Yeah, you've seen me do it before, but not with a Derringer. The Bond Derringer can pull this off if I can. Listen.
But to prove he's superhuman, Bob will now attempt to hit 2 targets 6 feet apart, faster than the blink of an eye.
So you're going to shoot both of these targets? Wow.
And the gun must be cocked and fired for each shot.
Yeah, so you got to again cock it and bang.
Yep. Well,
Firing the gun to the hip is a different ball game.
That was absolutely incredible.
That was amazing.
He just shot
incredible.
2 bullets, and I heard 1 shot, and that was it. And look at this space.
It's my favorite Colt. Blondie. 50 yards, offhand, from the hip. God damn, I hit the... Ah, I got it! I hit it!
a Bond Derringer, 45 caliber, 250 grain bullets, clay pigeons in the air. What, you don't believe it? Let's give it a try. Believe it or not. Bond Derringer, 45 bullets, clay pigeons in the air.
Guinness Book of World Records. He is the only winner of Fast Draw's Triple Crown. He holds 18 world records, has won 800 championships and over 3,500 trophies. Who is he? He's Bob Munden, the fastest gun who ever lived.
Okay, first shot, first hit. Ready? Second shot, second hit. Third shot, third hit. Spin it in the air like so, boom, and then shoot, try to split that card in flight. Get the groove.
Yeah.
I hit, and if you'll see the back muscles, all the back is involved. When you draw that unit, whap, there's a lot of torque, but it's a very short, crisp motion. It's kind of like a jab from here to there, very short and very powerful. And that's really what you're doing there. The one thing you never see me do in a show, very rarely, is a little thing called gun spinning. I don't do it because it isn't part of my show. And I'm not very good at it, actually. But it is something I know how to do. I just don't mess with it. Cock it like that, and so on and so forth. Give it a little troll here, a little underneath there. And you take it and throw it back in the holster like that. Draw it out like that, throw it back in the holster like that. come underneath the holster, come up, back, and around, like that. And then you take it and face the camera this way, and swing over here, cock and fire that way, and back in the holster. But I don't like to do that kind of stuff, because I'm not really good.
East, north, or south?
Same draw, speed it up. And what I'll do here to achieve some more speed, and instead of drawing the gun and shoving it clear out here, I'm going to eliminate a lot of movement. And I'm going to take that gun, roll it, and fire it right over the top of that holster. To eliminate motion will gain me some speed, and that draw looks something like this. Let's give it a try. Okay? That's the draw, rolling it right over the top of the holster. And that's just about as fast as you can go using that particular method of fast draw. Bring the gun out, cock it, come out and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He's in the Guinness Book of World Records. He is the only winner of Fast Draw's Triple Crown. He holds 18 world records, has won 800 championships and over 3,500 trophies. Who is he? He's Bob Munden, the fastest gun who ever lived.
Yeah, I shoot this gun. Now, we were talking about this hammer configuration and so on. Here's how this combination works. Instead of drawing and firing like so, like we did with the thumbing, we are now using a twisting and rolling motion. We take the gun and go this way. Instead of taking the gun and pulling it from leather, I take the draw and throw the holster off underneath the gun. Now all I do is just take the gun and go boom. And then you take the left hand coming across, you go just like this. What I'm doing is going just like this, boom. That's the way it's done. Boom, like so. And I'm keeping it very close to the holster, and the end result is like so. That's the end. It is actually an invisible motion. It's just, and you've got great power with it. So if you physically set up and pump up for it, you've got that power draw. And it becomes a very, very strong draw. But on a, there it is right there. You'll see the twisting motion of the gun. Leather, watch close. That's the draw. That's the complete draw. And that's the way you would shoot live ammunition. And if you're shooting a smaller target, you would slow that down. There are some people that claim to be fast with a 6-gun. And they'll use this particular draw, but understand this. If you are a stock hammer, the thumbing method, draw, you get out, and boom. Now, let's switch guns here and go to a modified gun using the same draw, but with a modified hammer. Now, as I pointed out, and now we're gone down to the shortest of the barrels allowed in competition. This is a 4 3/4 inch 45 Colt single action. Of a hammer, you can draw and shoot, and if you miss with the left hand, because of this modified hammer, it's easy to recover. You can really get some extra shots off. All right, this is the gun we've been shooting, the single action in a 5 1/2 inch barrel, and the key here is the stock hammer. This is the gun we were shooting with. Now, I'm going to switch over, continuing the same kind of a draw, the thumbing method, but I'm going to go to a modified hammer here. Now, if you'll see the difference there is indeed a difference between these two hammers. They're designed to do the same thing. Go on, but instead of coming forward and straight back to the hammer as I did with the stock hammer, I'm going to come from low. I'm tilting the thumb here at this angle. Now, what I'm doing now is coming to an up position and pulling the hand. I'm going up to the hammer. Now I go up, so I can in fact cock it, but at the same time pull off of the hammer, bringing it out on target, and following. Into drawing, getting the gun pulled from leather. All right, there's your same clean draw, right there. Draw, take that gun, roll it, and fire it right over the top of that holster. Eliminate. here's the results. If it's done properly, this is what it looks like with a stock hammer and thumbing a direct hit and rolling the gun from leather. Watch close. With a stock hammer, the thumbing method, draw, you get out, and boom. At this angle. Now what I'm doing now is coming to an up position and pulling the hand. I'm going up to the hammer. Now I go up so I can in fact cock it, but at the same time pull off. We take the gun and go this way. Instead of taking the gun and pulling it from leather, I take the draw and throw the holster off underneath the gun. Boom, like so. And I'm keeping it very close to the holster, and the end result is like so. The trigger. I pull the trigger once, then I come across the thumb, cock and fire the first shot, and the little finger cocks and fires the second shot. Come across like that, and that was it. There's 2 shots. So if you slow it down, it's 1, 2. You speed it up, there it is. There's 2 shots.
Unique combination of art and science, and takes years of practice and dedication. As with any shooting sport, safety is extremely important. We do not recommend that you try
Yes, 2 balloons, 2 shots in 1/30th of a second.
Try.
Please check the gun and ammunition. Make sure both rounds have been fired.
Hold them, please.
They have been fired. They're
Hot and
hot,
fired?
and smoking, and the gun is empty. You don't believe that? You talk to those 2 guys after the show. Name of the game: fast. Fast. Please check the gun and ammunition. Make sure both rounds.
And right off the top of your head, you say, no, come on, that didn't happen. Okay, it did happen. How do you do that? And that's a fair question. So let me try to answer it for you. First of all, there are variations.
a unique combination of art and science, and takes years of practice and dedication. As with any shooting sport, safety is extremely important. We do not recommend that you try any of the fast draw. Under no circumstances should you try this with live ammunition.
All right, well, let's give it a try. Forward. Now, the idea of this was 2 things. First of all, the muzzle is not pointing directly down the leg at the foot. Most people that draw a gun, when they draw the gun, will pull the gun forward like so. Now, if you'll take a look at where that muzzle is pointing now, it's really dangerous because once the hammer is cocked, and cocking it in the holster is mandatory for speed in reality, the only thing that is now holding that hammer is the trigger itself and touching the trigger. And you do that over and over again until you get it just right. Boom, just like that. And you speed it up, boom. That's what it looks like when you speed it all up. There you go, very, very fast. That's very, very fast for that kind of a draw. Right there.
Fast draw is a unique combination of art and science, and takes years of practice and dedication. As with any shooting sport, safety is extremely important. We do not recommend that you try any of the fast draw techniques you will see in this videotape. And under no circumstances should you try this with live ammunition.
Now, the reason that gun come out and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
In the mirror, it was the bottom right. I guess.
Now, the object, this is a promo. That was a little bit of, I never. Here once, then I come across the thumb, cock and fire the first shot, and the little finger cocks and fires the second shot. There's 2 shots. So if you slow it down, it's 1, 2. You speed it up, there it is. There's 2 shots. And yes, the cylinder's index. They hit that cup, and that's to draw the gun and fire it, wouldn't you say? Let's give it a try.
That's humor in here. I want you all to watch that cup real close. Name of the... Elapsed time on the clock, just for the draw itself, is...
Gentlemen, there are 2 shots in this gun, right? Absolutely. Now, for your information, 1 shot will not and cannot get both targets. On the other hand, if I mess it up, those same folks will walk out of here saying, "Oh."
Please check the gun and ammunition. Make sure both rounds have been fired.
Hold them, please.
They have been fired. They're
Hot
hot
and
and smoking, and the gun is empty. If you don't believe that, you talk to those 2 guys after the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, ready? Watch this. Just kidding, he's not quite that fast. He's the fastest gun in the West, east, north, or south.
The records that I have, we've been trying to bring them since 1960. I'm not even shooting competition. I'm an entertainer now, and we haven't broken any of those 18 records yet.
2 shots in 1/30th of a second. Is that for real or some kind of a trick?
Well, let's give it a try. Something like this. Ready? Second shot, second hit. Third shot, third.